My friends, what I have here is the FireMaple Tropics 2-person tent. And in this episode, we are going to waterproof test it. My name is Luke, this is the Outdoor Gear Review. Thank you very much for tuning in. Later on tonight, rain is going to begin falling and it's going to last all night long, all day long tomorrow. We're talking about 2 to 3 inches of rain. This, my friends, is going to be an excellent test for the Tropics 2-person tent. The Tropics 2-person tent from FireMaple, I should say. Later on tonight, before rain begins to fall, I will come back and I'll tell you all more about the weather system that's coming in. For now, let's talk about this tent and what I expect. I could see this tent leaking, and I could be completely wrong. At the end, we will know whether or not that is the case. I don't think the tent is going to leak from the seams. I think it's going to leak from the vents. There's 2 vents on this tent. Both are at the top. And the thing is this, underneath the top flap, there's just a little bit of material. In other words, there's not much space between the bottom of the vent. Meaning, if the rain is hard enough, if it's splashing down, I think it can get inside of this tent. Ultimately, the product will speak for itself. If it doesn't leak, I'll share with you. I'll show you. If it does leak, I'll show you where it leaked at. Everyone, I'll bring you all back later on tonight where we will talk about the weather system that's moving in. Multiple hours later, and we're back with the Tropics tent from FireMaple. In roughly 2 hours, the storm system is going to hit, and it's going to begin as a combination of snow, sleet, freezing rain. Ultimately, it will change over to rain. The most current forecast is estimating 2 to 4 inches of rain. No matter what we get, ultimately, it is going to be a great test for this tent. And I'm excited to see whether or not this leaks. I think it's entirely possible that it could, because of the design of the vents. But I could be wrong. When it comes to FireMaple, this company is known for making stoves, cook sets, and so on, really. Their quality, in my experiences, has been all over the place. For every good experience that I have, I generally have like 3 negative ones. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not this is a success or a failure. For the first time ever, the forecast was correct. At 2 a.m., the storm moved in. It started off as sleet and freezing rain, and now it's freezing rain over to rain. As it stands now, everything in here is soaked, ground is covered in a layer of ice, and the testing has begun. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. It is currently a little bit after 6:30. This tent has been outside in the rain all night long. Currently, we have a small break. The next wave is coming in. One thing I want to point out about this tent is the sagging material. It's really bad with the Tropics 2. You could see that the fly is laying on the inner, which means this is not a good tent for condensation. You have to think about the moisture that's going to build up on the inside of the fly. It's going to lay directly on the inner. And that means everything on the inside is going to be wet, wet, wet. What I'm talking about specifically are the 4 quadrant panels for this tent. Here, 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 and also on the other side. Take a look at this sagging here and how bad that is. This is laying directly against the inner on the inside. Having the guy lines out would help a little, but it wouldn't solve the issue up here at the top. And that, my friends, is why we do this testing. What a storm system this has been. It has dropped 2 to 3 inches of rain. It rained for 12 hours straight, everyone. Now, it is time to check on the Tropics 2-person tent from FireMaple. When I'm looking at this tent, I can't tell if it leaked or not. But going back to what I said about the stretching here, the sagging, this is really, really bad. Because of that, we know already that you're going to have issues with condensation because, again, condensation is possible with any tent. When you have condensation inside of this tent, it's going to come into direct contact with the inner, and that is not a good thing. Let's check on it and let's see if it leaked. Did the tent leak? The answer is no, not a single drop. All right, everyone, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. As far as the FireMaple tent goes, it is waterproof. I've mentioned how concerned I am with these vents, and I still am. I think in a windy situation, like a thunderstorm comes in during the summer, I think you could have problems from those vents. So that is something I would recommend keeping an eye on if you decide to purchase this tent. The question that you may be asking is whether or not I would purchase this tent again, and the answer is no. The tent doesn't have any major flaws. It doesn't leak or anything like that. But the overall design of this could be better. I spoke about this in the preview, so I'm not going to do it again. But all in all, this is not a terrible shelter, but the design could be better. The company definitely needs to address the adjustable stakeout points around the body. They need to think about these vents, and they need to consider the materials that they used. A sil nylon, yes, it's lightweight, but it sags like crazy. And because it sags like crazy, you really do have to have a design that pulls the fly away from the body, the inner. That way, you don't have to worry about condensation when it does sag. In this case here, if sagging takes place, the inner gets wet, and you have a problem. At the same time, this tent is so close, so similar to the Nature Hike Mongar. I don't know why you would purchase this one over that one. The Nature Hike Mongar features a better design, and it's a hell of a lot less expensive. And you're basically getting the same tent, plus an upgrade of features and design, so. In the end, this is a very good first attempt at a tent, but improvements need to be made. If you have found this episode to be helpful, hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Everyone, I am done. I've been up all night, a good part of the day. I'm done. Strength and honor. Bye for now.